Pirates of the Caribbean joined Genie Plus today, and it may have you wondering how this is going to affect your experience. How bad is this going to be for standby? Is it a good value for those who are buying Genie Plus? How will it work? I'm curious too, and you can count on us to figure it out for you. Let's go. Obviously, as evidenced by this umbrella, it is a rainy day here at Disneyland on this Monday morning, Monday afternoon, the first day that Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be on Genie Plus Lightning Lane. And I have to say that I was a bit surprised. I thought it was going to, have an effect, damper the enthusiasm for Pirates today. But I'm quite surprised as I arrived to find kind of a chaotic scene. Not in a bad way. It's just Pirates is busy. Pirates is busier than I was expecting today. I mean, I think it's enthusiasm for Pirates and people just wanted to enjoy this attraction on this day and not any sort of byproduct of Genie Plus being installed here. The queue looks to be set up as it normally does, as it normally is on any other day. Presently, at noon right now, it's a 20-minute standby wait. And I've been kind of watching for a little while here, just seeing how things are developing before I get into the queue. And the queue does appear to be moving fairly briskly. I mean, maybe not at general or usual Pirates of the Caribbean levels, but that will depend entirely on how many people are using Genie Plus. We got to see the scanners right there. Where the scanner is just as you cross under the threshold and enter, the part inside the bridge. 20 minutes seems optimistic, I have to say, but then I say that often. Let's get in the queue. Let's do our first test drive of the Pirates of the Caribbean standby wait time with Genie Plus in action. First thing we gotta do is find the back of the queue, which is out into the main walkway now. They need to, I think, adjust their queue setup now already because it's outside of the switchbacks there that run alongside the bridge. Now we've got to come out here. Oh no. Oh, there's the sign. There's the back of the queue sign. Yeah, they need to flex this queue into the extended space already. So into the back of the queue at 12:09. We're going to make our way to the entrance and then come back up, queue up, and then over to the bridge. And it looks like they are just about now. They're closing off this right here, the little cross street, and they're about ready to run the queue into the extended part into New Orleans Square. So they're reacting, which is good. There's your Lightning Lane sign right there. Oh my God, that makes me so sad to see that. And it's still posted at 20 minutes. And the rain is starting to come down. Woo! That's brisk. I'd really hoped for a better day to do this, review of the Pirates of the Caribbean standby Genie Plus situation. My wife said, "Dave, it's gonna rain. What are you gonna do?" I'm like, I gotta do it. I don't have a choice. I gotta do it. So as we can see, they have in fact extended the queue along the brick walls here in New Orleans Square. They need to do more. That queue is still getting deep. It has grown quite a bit since we got in. And that's with them extending it also, into this space. It would be reaching, wow, it is raining. It would be reaching almost Haunted Mansion at this point if they had not done this extension right here. It's going to be kind of a trip to try to gauge how quickly we're going through the queue, compared to what we're used to. I don't know what the expected wait time should be anymore. Like I figure this bridge part right here normally would be 5 minutes, if that. Another maybe 2 minutes to get to the threshold when you get to the bottom of the bridge. I don't know, man. Right now we have it at 12:14. It's been 5 minutes that we've been in the queue. And that over there, that's Lightning Lane. Yeah, they're getting ready to extend the queue even more. That's Lightning Lane. That queue is growing also. My expectation, by the way, is that they're probably going to be close to accurate on the standby wait time. And I also expect that this could be one of the better time savers for Pirates. We'll find out. We'll measure that later. But this could be one of the better time savers for Lightning Lane because the mix point is so deep into the queue, which isn't always the case. Like right next door, Indiana Jones Adventure, the mix point is I mean, not even halfway through the queue. So I think you're gonna get some good value out of Pirates. You know, it's interesting. The idea was that putting Genie Plus or Pirates on Genie Plus was to shorten the standby queue. But so far, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling the positive effect in that regard. They could run this thing all the way through New Orleans Square if they wanted to. Well, I take that back. We're going to have to look into this a little later after we do our first ride through. But the Haunted Mansion walls have grown. They've extended them out beyond. They've consumed all of Magnolia Park. The fountain is behind walls. Everything is behind the wall now. So we'll look in on that here in a little bit. 12:21 as we reach the bottom of the bridge and head toward the threshold. That's 12 minutes so far. 12 minutes so far in the standby queue. Under normal conditions, I would expect to wait another 10 minutes in this queue to get to my boat without Genie Plus influence. So we're behind schedule, I think. Wait time has been extended to 30 minutes now, which is probably going to be closer to what we wind up doing here when we finally do reach our boat. We are now at 14 minutes as we pass under the bridge. There's your fast pass scanners right there. I don't think there's any chance that we're going to get through this queue in 6 minutes. I don't think there's any chance at all. It's looking more like maybe 10, at least 15 perhaps. We are moving. People are moving. It's not terrible. So that's actually a pretty good flow of guests that they just sent through there from standby, considering they've got a dozen or so people there, or more now, in Lightning Lane. Both sides are full at the moment. Yeah, it looks like they just shipped the entirety of the Lightning Lane queue to that left lane, which is not out of the ordinary. That's to be expected.
All the way forward, sailors, come on down on this side, please. Come on down, all the way forward, please. No, all the way forward for me, please. Come on down right this way. Umbrellas down at this point, friends. Umbrellas down at this point, please. All the way forward.
12:31. We got mixed. That's 22 minutes. I wasn't able to count how many got through, but I'm going to guess, we can do this in post, but I'm going to guess that was about 40 guests. Hey, all right. I'm going to guess that was about 40. I don't know how many people followed me, because I was the first person through, so I can't say how many people followed me on standby. But if they're, I would imagine, well, you know what, we're going to have to do another rep before we can fully analyze what the mix rate is. But for now, everything should be normal. We've mixed. So the pace should be about the same, which should get us to our boats in a couple minutes. So that's going to be actually 25, 26 minutes to the boat, is my guess. 12:35, 26 minutes to our boat. I have to say I am not displeased. It's not terrible. That actually went possibly better than I was expecting. I was expecting disaster. So far, no disaster has struck. That was fairly enjoyable, not too bad. The weather didn't help, but I mean, if that were just a regular day, it felt like, I'll say this, it felt like being in just a regular queue, like a regular Disneyland queue. Pirates is known for being an exceptionally quick queue. This felt like just regular queue. And maybe even still a little bit better than that. Before we go on to our next visit though, we're gonna check in on the Haunted Mansion in Morrison Square. Things have developed. Yesterday was the Haunted Mansion's last day of operation. It is closed as of today, and it's gonna stay closed, I believe, until all the way to August. That's my best guess. And now that it is closed, they can close off the rest of Magnolia Gardens where the fountain is. The entire space now is behind construction walls. They have extended these construction walls all the way around to the corner, all the way to Tiana's Palace, even to the extent where they've closed it off here. You can't go back there. You cannot board or exit the Disneyland Railroad in New Orleans Square. The train is still running. In fact, it's here in the New Orleans Square station as we speak. It does stop here, but as I mentioned, no boarding or deboarding. And then, obviously, construction walls inhibit your exit or access to that area. We're going to have a very tough time seeing anything back there. I tried looking through the screen, can't really see very well. They do a good job of hiding things from you. But there is definitely some heavy equipment in the garden, bobcats and etc. So they are going to be extending that work that they've been doing on the one half of the queue. That's going to keep on going into the fountain. I'm just really curious to see how, what effect this is going to have on that fountain area. There are some hope out there that it could survive, but I don't think so. The mechanics of it will. They'll replace it with a different fountain, but not the same fountain that we had before. Meanwhile, the mansion itself, day one, everything is still up. We're going to come by and check on this situation a couple times a week to see if anything happens out here in these exteriors, if they take this down. We figure there's two ways to look at this. The Haunted Mansion is going to be closed. It's not likely that they're going to bring back the original classic Haunted Mansion before the holiday season. They have already announced, Disney has confirmed that Haunted Mansion Holiday will return in August, on August 23rd. So it doesn't make any sense for them to reinstall Haunted Mansion and then uninstall it so they can put in the Haunted Mansion Holiday. Therefore, we think that they're not going to take it down at all. So the question is, are they going to leave up just the interiors, or are they going to leave up also all this stuff out here on the outside of the attraction, the building itself? I don't know how complicated or involved that process is. I mean, obviously it would take less effort to leave it up, but the mansion would look considerably better being here vacant as classic Haunted Mansion. We'll keep an eye on it, but just know that even if they do take down the decorations out here in the front, I don't think that means that we're going to get classic Haunted Mansion back. I think we're still going to be without classic Haunted Mansion until 2025. With that, let's head back to Pirates, see how things have developed since then. By the way, you can tell it is considerably less busy than it was when we got in the queue the first time. It's positively calm out here right now compared. I don't know what the wait time is. It was 30 when we were in the attraction last, when we went through the threshold. I would bet it's way less than that right now, because it looks like all you're negotiating right now is the bridge. Yeah, that's it. If this is, there's the back of the queue right there, way shorter than when we left it. Reaching the back of this queue at 1:56, and we can see right away that the posted wait time has already been reduced to 20 minutes. And based on our previous rep, I would be surprised if it's even that long. We did 26 minutes, and it was, quite a ways down there. So I expect we should have a pretty easy time of things. Hopefully. Trying to be optimistic about all this. Well, I may have to already retract my optimism. We've been in this queue now for 5 minutes, and we haven't gotten hardly anywhere. We're just now reaching the pole where you go up to the bridge. It took us 5 minutes just to navigate that one stretch right there. That can't be good. We got to this point in our first walkthrough in 5 minutes, and that's from having started all the way back there towards Tiana's Palace. Well, apart from that slow start, things have returned back to the pace that we found. Actually, maybe even a little quicker than our first ride through. We're at 10 minutes now. It's 2:06. Been in the queue for about 10 minutes, and we're about ready to head down to the bottom of the bridge, turn back around the pole. We are now ahead of schedule rather than behind, I think. I'm laughing at myself because I have to wonder if I'm making this video just for me, because the kind of commentary that I'm doing, like talking about how long it takes, I just feel like this is a me thing. Is that entertaining at all? I don't know. Yeah, moving right along. It is now 2:07. Take my umbrella down. 2:07, and this is where normally I just had an instinct where thought I was gonna, pick a line. Oh, are they bringing us back? Oh, that's different. Before we went right in, and then made the right, then the left. But they have created a switchback here. We're gonna go up, then back, then up again. That's gonna add a little time to our wait. Okay, look at that. That's moving. I'm agreeable to this. They're not, oh, look at that also. So here I thought they were adding more time by putting a switchback under the bridge. It's because they have shortened it out here. I have to assume that's because of the rain, and they're trying to keep people covered, under cover, and out of the rain. That's very thoughtful. Very light Genie Plus at the moment. We're seeing very little influence. This is where we got stuck for quite a while. They did about a 40 guest mix on Lightning Lane while I stood there before. It's going to be practically nothing. We are at 17 minutes. Yeah, they're not even checking me right now. They're just letting everybody go. We're at 17 minutes. We are now 17 minutes as we approach the door. We're going to be right on time, is my guess. We're going to be 20 minutes to the boat. Make that 22 minutes to our boat. Not bad at all. Once more, I find that agreeable. Well done.
Come seek an adventure and solve the old pirates, eh? The greedy beholders of this bewitching place. Sardines, everyone in their glares. Not less than million golden
I gotta say, things are going pretty well. I'm pretty surprised by what we found so far. I mean, admittedly, small sample size, just 2 runs so far on a rainy day, although the object of these sessions isn't to figure out if it's busy or slow or whatever. It's just to find out how the queue reacts to the Genie Plus influence. So that reaction is going to be the same, be that on a busy day or a slow day, be that on a rainy day or a regular day. Now, obviously, I can't say the queue is behaving like it used to, but it's still behaving well enough that I don't think it's going to be a bother to stand by. I don't think anybody's going to even really notice so far. I think I've got one more rep left in me today, but for now, I think I'm going to observe Genie Plus. Let's talk about what Genie Plus is going to experience when they enter the Pirates of the Caribbean queue. Standby on the right, Genie Plus on the left. And then the scanners are right at the other end of the tunnel entrance as we showed earlier. They've got 3 scanners here, one there right up there on the left, another one under the black umbrella, another one under the green umbrella, and they're using, that's Lightning Lane, using that left ramp up to the entrance. As we've observed in our standby sessions, they mix right here. There's a cast member there splitting the guests into the left or the right queue, depending on which one is, less filled. And it's pretty much immediate. I don't see any sort of delay, even when the queue has gotten lengthy, which we're not going to see that right now. I don't think there's going to be any point where the queue starts going down these ramps and starts to back up. I don't know if we're ever going to get to that point, but even if it does, it's still just going to be a minute or two for Genie Plus to get through. So a group of maybe 12 have collected there. She's going to send all of those through, I'm sure. And by the way, this is indicative of any Lightning Lane situation in the park. She has completely cleared the queue. So there it is, it's gone, it's done. This is why I don't feel like there's going to be a huge influence, because they can cycle so many guests. It's kind of like at Runaway Railway, where they can cycle a lot of guests, at any given time. They can clear a Lightning Lane queue in just seconds or minutes. They can clear the whole thing. So the overall impact on standby is still fairly negligible, in my opinion. Considering that, I would say that you're getting a pretty good discount here. The question was, is it worth it? Is Genie Plus worth it on Pirates for those who have it? And this is absolutely a yes, in my opinion. There are degrees of worth when it comes to Genie Plus for individual attractions. Here, you're getting the full discount. Take whatever the standby wait time says, take out 5 minutes, that's how much time you're saving. Because it's 5 minutes, once you get through the threshold, once you go in the doors, everybody's the same. And it takes about 5 minutes to get from the door to your boat. So if the posted wait time is 20, you're saving 15. That's still 75% of your time waiting. If the wait time is 45, I'd be shocked if you waited more than 10 minutes. So you're getting a pretty good deal as a Genie Plus user here at Pirates, better than I might have thought at first glance. And while I was filming that little section, we did get a bit of a backup here. So let's see. The queue is now going down the ramp a little bit and around the corner. And she's just going to send all of this. My first ride through, that was me, right there in the front of the queue watching. They sent about 40 guests through, if I recall. I'll have to go back and look in post and see what that number is. But I would imagine this whole ramp is going to be cleared or close to cleared by the time she's done. Okay, she just paused them. So she got, they're going to send now some standby. So she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All but 10 of those guests were sent through. And there's still a lot of space. There's still a lot of slack in that queue right now. They could send a bunch more. There they go. They just released some more. So they sent through a few standby, and they're sending in the balance of the Lightning Lane now. And there's still a lot of, look at the door. Though when you see the door, the queue space in front of the door empty like that, that's great. That's all you could ask for to keep things moving. And she's going to pause them real quick and send now these. There's a whole bunch of Lightning Lanes coming through here. A bunch. Wow, look at that. Okay. So it's quite a little dance. This is one of the few opportunities that we get to really observe up close and personal like this, how the process of mixing standby with Lightning Lane. In most cases, that mix point is kind of obscured, but or you can't really see it from out of the queue like we are now. We're not in the queue, but we can still see everything happening. It's pretty neat. They are going to ship a bunch of Pirates Lightning Lanes through here, and it's going to have, like I said, kind of a minimal effect. They're getting almost all of the priority right now. I'm going on and on. But watching this has made me realize, or reminded me, that Genie Plus is, for those who get it and use it, it's a really good value. It really is. Whether or not it's worth it to you is dependent upon what kind of guest you are. Like me, it's not for me. But for anybody who does, want to capitalize and do a lot of rides today, it's absolutely a great value. I would argue that Genie Plus is probably the best value of any skip the line service between this and Universal and Knott's Berry Farm. And now it's interesting, while I was observing Lightning Lane for a while and I observed the crowds filling up Lightning Lane, in that time, so too has Standby. Standby has doubled since I've been standing there. Now, I don't know if this is a product of, it's just being busier, or more people want to go on Pirates right now, or if this is an effect of all those Lightning Lanes getting cycled through right now, and it's kind of holding up Standby just a little bit. But we could get back in this line and expect still to find only, probably, considering where the back of the queue is.
First break.
Hey. Considering the back of the queue is still just right here, I would not expect this to be more than 20 minutes, 25 maybe. This is about where we were in the last ride-through when we got in 25 minutes. 22 minutes it was, actually. I'm not going to complain about a 22-minute wait, and I'm not going to complain about it being 2 minutes over the posted wait time or 6 minutes over the posted wait time as we saw the first ride-through. I'm fine with either of those scenarios, but we're going to get in one more time and just kind of fill out this afternoon and see if we're getting the same response in our standby queue. So getting in the queue at 3:24. This should be pretty much a repeat of our last experience. Posted wait time still says 20 minutes. It's not quite as brisk, obviously, as the old Pirates would have been, but it's still not so bad. I mean, it's I've experienced the same thing we had on our second ride through, where it got a little sticky out here on the way up to the bridge. What's more, it's about 5 minutes to get up to the bridge, and the queue has been growing. You can't really tell, so many umbrellas. The queue is growing. That's the back of the queue, right there where that one black umbrella is. That's the back. I'm beginning to think that the fluctuations in the queue are the rain. It's when it starts to rain, as it has again, it starts to rain to the point where it's beyond just being annoying, and it's actual rain. That's when people start getting into the Pirates queue. They see this as an escape. So I've noticed that's the trend I've noticed. The busiest it was when it was raining the hardest, and then it was super not busy when it wasn't raining at all, and I could put the umbrella away. But now that we got the umbrellas out again, and people are trying to stay out of the rain and warm, time to get in the Pirates queue. Wow. That's all I can say. It is pouring now. Straight up buckets. So things have gotten considerably more sticky in this queue as well with the rain. 15 minutes now we're at already. So we're 5 minutes behind. I'm laughing again. I'm having the same thought I had last time we went down this ramp. We're 5 minutes behind the previous pace, which was also behind a proper 20-minute pace. We wound up being at 22. So if we extrapolate, we're looking at about 30 minutes, I'd say. Look at this. And they have bumped it up to 25 minutes. Oh, and there's a huge puddle over here. Okay, stand clear of that. Yeah, she's sending the same thing we saw before. We don't have to stop. She's sending both sides through. She's doing Lightning Lane on the left and Standby on the right. Everybody just kind of flowed in. We're at 23 minutes now to the door. 23 minutes to the door, 5 more minutes inside, 28 minutes to our boat. So that's 3 rides for a total of 14 minutes over the posted wait time. All 3 reps were over the posted wait time. Make of that what you will. That's a different conversation. Total 14 minutes on average, you're looking at about 5 minutes over. That's about 25% of the posted wait time. So if you wanted to try to extrapolate that, let's say on a busier day when the posted wait time might be 40 minutes, you could expect, if everything goes as it did today, a 50-minute standby wait. Now, I don't think that we could go that far and make that assumption right away, if for the only reason that it's very often the case, typically, that standby is posted greater than the actual weight. They're still trying to calibrate, I think. They're still trying to calibrate, trying to figure out what they should be. They might be on Pirate Standard Time also. They see a queue and they're like, that's a 20-minute queue. That's not a 20-minute queue anymore. That's a 25-minute queue now. But all in all, I have to say, at first I was really like nervous and scared about what this is going to mean for Pirates. I thought it would destroy standby, and who knows, there's still a chance of that. But as I did those reps earlier in the week when they were testing it, things went pretty smoothly. Obviously, there's more people in the Lightning Lane now today than there were in those experiences before. But all in all, I have to say it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. It's not a deal breaker. I can still, I would still choose Pirates on most occasions. No problem there. And I think that most people would agree, that, especially the casual guest, this is not going to be a big effect on their experience. And as I mentioned, this is a really good perk for those who do buy Genie Plus. And that's kind of the whole point of them doing that, is to give Genie Plus more value. As for now, as we wrap up our excursion on Pirates of the Caribbean today, we've been here for about 5 or 6 hours. I'm not sure exactly, about 5 hours. And this is now, I mean, look at it. It's not even 20 now at this point. The back of the queue is, they're not even going on the bridge. Obviously the rain has something to do with that. When we get to a proper busy day, this experience will be different. But all I can say now, looking at this, is that it didn't kill it. Standby is alive and well, and it'll be fine, I think, in the future visits when it's busier. We'll be here to test that out as well. You can count on Fresh Baked to have those answers for you. We will do the honest and real recon on all these attractions and more. So stay tuned to Fresh Baked for more. And if you like this show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. Otherwise, you can follow us on Instagram at _freshbaked, on Twitter at freshbakedisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at freshbakedisney. If you like our show, oops, I already said that. I'm redoing the outro. Thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.